Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Adventure Rats. We got a bit of a makeover happening on the back of the Series 3 GU Patrol. I own a 2004 GU Patrol, and I thought it was time to get the spare wheel off the rear door because they do have a potential to crack. Mine hasn't done it yet, luckily enough, even though I've got the 33-inch tyres on there, but mine hasn't seemed to crack. They do have a habit of cracking, and a lot of the time they'll crack kind of through here, or even further up here somewhere. I've seen videos of them cracking. As you can see though, mine hasn't done it. I'm pretty lucky, I think, but we have pulled the old girl apart. The rear end, so to speak, has come off it. We've got rid of the standard bar and lights, so that's what she looks like. She's pretty bare. Spare tyres there. We've got the spare off the back door, and we're going to get ready to put the... Alright, so the rear bar the Adventure Rats have decided to go with is from an awesome mob in Melbourne named Raslarr. You've probably seen their bars around a lot, but I've just got the OG Series 1 to 3 rear bar for the Patrol, and this is what comes in the box. Sorry about the background mess, I'm in the garage, but that is the main rear bar. We need to install our reverse lights into here, blinkers and brake lights into that slot. Our spigots for our arms, very nicely made. Can't wait to get it on the car. Also, what come with it, we've got our wing bracing brackets, 2 of those. Got an awesome Raslarr stubby cooler they threw in with the bar. So there's the website, there's the sale email website, and there's the phone number there. Feel free to pause it right here if you wish to collect that information, guys. They're a great crew. I've got, for my series, these are the extension brackets that bolt on to put your little toe loop back on. I don't have my toe loop, but that's what they're for. Really strong arm latches, so they'll go on to latch my swing away arms into place. Really nicely built. Awesome how they've got Raslarr etched into the steel there. 2 of them. I've got my gas strut kit with the bearings in there and the dust seals and the bolts to mount it all to the bar. So that's for the swing away arms, that's for one side, and I've got another kit for the other side. Also, I've gone with the rear wheel carrying bracket, which is that guy there, and then that's my wheel stub that'll bolt into the top of that, and the wheel will mount onto that. I've also got the modular swing away arm, so I can add jerry can holders, ladders, whatever to that if I wish. Comes with the 2 blinker and tail lights, plus the 2 big reverse lights and a new number plate light. We have 2 brackets here which are for the latches, so they will bolt on like that and lock up your arms. 2 Raslarr end plugs which will just pop into the end of each arm. We've also got checker plate aluminium tread that'll go on. So that's what come in the kit. And then over here, my jerry can holders, I went with the 2 lockable enclosed jerry can alloy holders, which are really nice as well. So they've got this little latch on the top here. Just open that up and jerry's can go in there. You can lock it up. You know, most lockable things keep honest people out, but a bit more protection off-road, just in my opinion. But we're going to go back, we're going to install the lights and some other bits and pieces, and we'll carry the rear bar back to the back of the car and we'll get it lined up. There's a little bit of wiring work we need to do. Sorry, I had to wipe my nose, a bit hot out here, I'm sweating a bit. There's a little bit of wiring to do, so we'll do that too, just to get the lights and everything working, and then we'll lift it into place, bolt it up, and then we'll go from there. We got the lights in, reverse lights in, same on the opposite side, and just over here I've just had to wire some extra wires. These are the factory plugs that came off the GU. I've just cut them off the back of the factory wiring loom, joined them to the rear lights, so that should get us all working pretty easy. I do have to make up a little wiring loom for these. I'm going to bridge them together and then run them straight into the reverse wire through, I don't know if you can see that, where that wire is going, through that rubber bung up there. I'm going to put it and into my reverse light, and that'll get those lights going. But yeah, so we'll get that sorted, we'll sit it on and we'll see if the lights work. And we are now under the GU, the bar is on. I've made the wire loom up for the reverse lights. There's one mounted there, one mounted here, so I've just spliced, may run this wire, and I've spliced that one into there, and then that one joins directly on the end, just there under that sheave. And I've run that wire up through the bar, comes out over here, and then it goes around them over the muffler and goes up inside the car through that bung there.
I see you.
And then that bung is spliced into the factory wiring for my lights. So for the reverse lights, sorry about the noise in the background, that's just the kids. And then that runs my reverse lights up inside. So I've just spliced them into the factory wiring in the quarter panel. So I'll get zip ties, I'll tidy them up there, zip tie them up there out of the way nice and neat. I'll tuck all these up in here, zip tie them up as well. And then it's just mounting my Anderson plug to the supplied plate there, and also my trailer plug to there. I've got to go down, pick up some new nuts and bolts for that, which is not a problem. Probably 3mm bolts, put through there and there. Might have to drill a couple of new holes for that. See how we travel. I might be able to get away, just put one bolt through there into there. We will see, and that'll be that. And then I can add the swingaways onto my bits, which are just there and there. Now up to mounting the swingaway arms. We've mounted that one, which is the wheel carrier. Pretty spiffy. We're mounting this one, which is the other side, which goes on the same way. I've just put grease in there, and I've greased my bearings, and the dust seal, I put a bit of grease in that so I don't tear the rubber. And we've got all the fittings here to put the jerry can holders on, so I'll put those in there, put dust seals on, and then that'll slide onto that spigot, which I'll put some grease on that too, just to save the dust seal. And I've got that there, which is the mount ball for the gas strut. So we'll put that on and it'll look pretty smick. So we've got the bearings in, seals in the bottom. You have to use a hammer to get that in there. It's a nice tight fit, obviously, because it's a dust seal. Put the castle nut on with the washer, but you leave it loose because you have to lift this arm to get that stopper over that, so you can get the extra length to put that on. You've got to loosen the castle nut a bit, lift that so the stopper comes over the stopping lug, gives you enough room clip that on, then we bring it back. Drop that into place. Now we can tighten the castle nut up, put the split pin through it, dust cap on, and the arm's on. Very nicely done. There we are, castle nut on, split pin in. The way I set my bearings is I do that castle nut up tight enough that I can't move this arm just to swing it in and out, and I back it off enough just to line that hole up with the split pin and then put it in, and then it swings really nicely. The only resistance I have now is from the gas strut, and this awesome little thing just screws on the top like a little dust cover. I did put a bit of grease around that because there is an O-ring seal, as you can see there. So a little bit of grease never goes astray, just so you don't damage the rubber seal in there. And there it is, guys, all installed. Holding the tyre. There's my dual jerry can holders, mine are lockable. So that's it closed up, and then that's it open over there. Really good, awesome bits of gear. So you just hook them on like that. Does have really nice solid handles, latches. They were pretty fiddly because you had to adjust this and then get that to sit right to hook into that guy, which was a little bit of a muck around, but I got it done. But there it is. And these close really smoothly. I'll just very nice. All my lights work. Got them in correctly. Very nice. We'll just close this one up as well. Very nice. Anyway, that's the raslarr rear bar install on my GQ. On my GU, sorry. But hope you like it. It looks mint. They're a great bar, very solidly built. And again, from the Adventure Rats, we're out. Have a good one.